गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। इंतजार की घड़ियां खत्म हो गई। सो यू नो व्हाट, सी आई टेल यू a very simple theory of evolution and natural selection. Darwinism, Lamarckism. People who are from biology background might be knowing it, theory of evolution and theory of natural selection. So what basically happens? It's not just a species of this planet which evolve, everything evolves, right? Like we as a humans, we are evolving obviously, but if you look at the evolution is something which is visible to us in thousands of years or maybe sometimes 10,000s of years. But you know that every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month we are evolving, isn't it? So if you look at your own life, you might be feeling, यार एक साल पहले जो मैं कर रहा था काफ़ी बेवकूफ़ी थी, है ना, ये तो मुझे करना ही नहीं चाहिए था। खुद पे हंस रहे होगे, मैं इतना बेवकूफ़ था एक साल पहले या 5 साल पहले मैं इतना बेवकूफ़ था, right? This is very common, right? So haven't you noticed that every year, if you think about the previous year, you feel like that, okay, you were doing something which you are not even able to relate today, right? So we humans also evolve. There's a mini form of evolution. These miniature steps turn into a huge evolution that is visible. Now, that is what a life of an individual can be. Coming to the companies, like for example, iQuanta, or any kind of organization. It can be a company based on finance, company on data analytics, company on sales, marketing, surveys, consultancies, edtech like iQuanta. So everybody evolves, everything evolves. And so that is theory of evolution. Then comes theory of natural selection. Those who do not evolve, they perish, isn't it? So it happened like dinosaurs could not evolve, and that is why they became extinct. A lot of companies also, they are there. A lot of companies, they tend to do really good, and at one point of time, they're not able to evolve. They're not able to, kind of develop new products, develop something new, develop new culture, and that is the reason they become extinct and they become outdated. The major example is Nokia. All right? Okay, Shavik, seriously? So it's like if Shavik has been seeing us, Shavik is a kind of now a friend, more of a friend, less of a student now. So Shavik, you are the one who has seen it, the evolution of iQuanta. So what happened? I joined here in the year of 2022, in the month of May. It's my 3rd year here. So then we started live classes, Like we had all the application classes in place, we started the live classes, and that was an evolution for us when I came. After that, we evolved to develop the hard copy books that are being sold today. A lot of people are, accessing it. Developed that in the first year itself. That's the first evolution. The second year, we thought of, a lot of students are there who kind of tell us, sir, I have left mathematics from last 5 years. 10वीं के बाद मैथमेटिक्स पढ़े ही नहीं. कुछ लोग बोलते हैं 12वीं के बाद पढ़े ही नहीं. हम भूल चुके हैं मैथमेटिक्स और कैट में इतने डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. So when we try to look at try to analyze that who are those students, they're majorly non-engineers. When I say non-engineers, it's really people who are from non-mathematical backgrounds. We thought of developing a product called non-engineers QA. So we thought of, that let's do one thing, let's create bite-sized videos. What is a bite? Ek kaur mein niwala kha gaye. So bite-sized videos which will be focused and based upon all the NCERT books starting from standard 6th till standard 10th. So people who kind of, go through it, the entire course refreshes. After that, we thought of, okay, let's do one thing, like we created non-engineers QA. Let's create engineers VARC, because again we analyzed the data based on what the feedback was from the students. We thought, okay, there are some people who do not use English language in their day-to-day activities, and they're majorly engineers. Thought of, okay, let's create engineers VARC. I think you guys have accessed that. Then so last year we evolved, a lot of times. Then we developed LRDI inception towards the end of the year, in which we developed really difficult sets, and people were very happy to see that. I think शौविक, तुमने देखा था वो एक सेट था जिसमें 1000 लोग खड़े थे, गोली मार रहे दूसरे को. So there was Shovik, there was Zainab, Akhil. So these guys, they have become lifelong friends of mine who were students last year. So they were very much interactive with us. And this year, 2025, the interaction has just begun. And the evolution of culture that we have done, you guys and I, so we are in touch almost every day. So this kind of evolution, which we have been doing, evolution doesn't come just by one individual. It's a whole bunch of individuals, right? So LRDI inception was more about moderate difficult level sets because we developed in the month of August and launched month of September last year. So CAT was just 3 months away. At that time itself, we thought of Ramanuj. Yes, hi Ramanuj. We thought that why not do something for the fundamentals of LRDI. The problem is English language is something which you have done in your schools. Okay, you tend to read newspapers, you watch English movies, you have done mathematics, a bit of it, everyone has done it till standard 10th, but logical reasoning is something which is not the part of any kind of subject or discipline, any kind of school or college. It's not there. Depends on your hobby. If you like playing Sudoku, like playing chess, and if you are someone who loves solving riddles, paheliyan, all that stuff, and that is where logical reasoning develops. So logical reasoning is a fixed syllabus or fixed kuch hai nahi. So we were thinking a lot about it. A lot. Okay, AJ Gaming, yes, Mahi, hi. So we were thinking that what has to be done so that we can create something which will be very fundamental in logical reasoning and data interpretation. So when we are thinking that, this name LRDA Essentials, I would say this is the best name we have come across with, right? Essentials. Required. So in the classes, you relate to that. The classes, we were majorly solving sets, be it logical reasoning, be it data interpretation, isn't it? And this year, I just took an LRDI session yesterday, DI miscellaneous. So there were spider web radar graphs, there were sunburst graphs, which last year we did in terms of sets, but did not explain that what actually is sunburst, why is it used, what is spider web, right? Shovik, Ramanuj, है ना? तो ये तुम लोगों को याद होगा कि हम लोगों ने कई सारे सेट्स तो किए, पर कभी हमने ना ये नहीं समझाया कि यार देखो, मैं कितना ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ कि ये स्कैटर प्लॉट्स का इस्तेमाल क्या है लाइफ में, या स्पाइडर वेब डायग्राम है, रडार ग्राफ, उसका इस्तेमाल क्या था, क्यों बनाया गया था ये. जैसे इन मैथमेटिक्स आई डू इट नॉर्मली. I tell the story of Gauss, how the formula was calculated, derived, story of Ramanujan, Srinivasa Ramanujan, Newton, what he did, Pythagoras, why numbers evolved, and all that stuff I've been talking about. Logical reasoning interpretation, this is the thing I talk about, no trivia. So I thought of people in data interpretation, if I talk about DI, so they're like, okay, in the end, we just have to calculate and analyze data, isn't it? So we have to just, train people in mathematics, percentage and calculations, and they interpret data and in the end, every question of DI is just about calculation, some questions about observation of graphs, isn't it? So 75% of questions are calculation driven, and there's a reason we do speed calculation. I emphasize more on percentages and ratios forever. It's these two aspects. Percentages and ratios are important for the entire arithmetic and entire data interpretation. But the 25% of it is majorly observation based, right? Observation based. Shovik, हाँ, तो observation based जो था उसके लिए हमने बोला देखो ये ग्राफ ऊपर जा रहा है, ऐसा हो गया. But you know what? Yesterday I was feeling the same thing when Dipanshu asked me to, sir, just go and take one class of DI miscellaneous. So I was like, okay, I invested some time to it. Not just in solving sets. I invested time to create something new over there. So I thought of, let me show how a spider spins its web, and every web it wins, it's a kind of concentric rings which can represent different data elements. And the spider web diagram representation is best for statistics if you want to calculate median, right? Median जो बीच वाले धागे में आएगा वही median बन जाएगा. So we don't have to sort out things in ascending or descending order like we do in normal other representations. So that is the reason why we use spider graphs. I took just an example of spider graph. Sunburst का अलग example था कि एक जब set हो कोई उस set के subsets हों, subsets के और subsets हों. So in those cases, sunburst is the best representation. A lot of people said कि ऐसे ग्राफ बना ही क्यों रहे हैं, सिंपल टेबल में क्यों लिख दे रहे हैं, एक टेबल बनाओ लिख दो वहाँ पे, या एक बार ग्राफ बनाओ जो सिंपल है, पाई चार्ट बना दो. व्हाई आर यूजिंग दीज थिंग्स? सो यू नो आई थॉट फ्रॉम योर पर्सपेक्टिव एज अ स्टूडेंट व्हाट विल आई थिंक कि भाई क्या ज़रूरत थी स्कैटर प्लॉट बनाने की, क्या ज़रूरत थी रडार ग्राफ बनाने की, स्पाइडर वेब बनाने की, क्या ज़रूरत थी सनबर्स्ट डायग्राम्स बनाने की, कैंडल स्टिक पैटर्न बनाने की, ज़रूरत ही क्या है? आप सीधा टेबल दे दो ना हमें. तो ज़रूरत मुझे पता थी क्या है, बट मुझे वो टाइम मिला नहीं क्लास में बताने का, और मैंने कहा कि इस बार हम ये करेंगे, इवोल्यूशन करेंगे. सो इन द क्लास ऑल्सो आई डिड इट, लॉट ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव सीन दैट, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट we plan to create LRDI essentials where I'll be talking about, let's say if we talk about arrangements, then why we call it arrangement, why we call it linear, why we call it circular, what are seats, what are rows, what are columns, what is next to, immediate, adjacent. So all these terms that we use in arrangements, immediate left or just the left, sitting facing north, facing south, looking in towards center of table, looking away from it. All these simple terms, the nomenclature, terminologies used had to be discussed upon, like we do in the case of VARC or Quants. But in LRDI, we normally solve sets. So when students told me, yesterday I got a lot of messages when people told me, the CAT aspirants, they told me, that said, this is something which, you know, is seeming very familiar to us now. That is something which I heard for the first time. I've been teaching for the last 10 years. And Shavik and Ramanuj, because you are there, you two guys. Sparsh, no. The second batch is about to start this upcoming week. We'll start with arithmetic. It won't be late. So what I'm trying to say here, कि जब इन चीज़ों को जब हमने देखा पूरा, इसको किस तरह से हम इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं in our classroom teaching, then also there is one more challenge. Time is limited. If I go on explaining each and every graph, why was it made, what's the origin, what's the history, what all these terms actually mean, then in the classes we won't be able to do more than 2 sets, isn't it? See, every solution poses a new problem. पहला solution ये था कि भाई लोगों को समझ में आना चाहिए कि ग्राफ ये वाला है क्या, आखिर क्यों यूज़ हो रहा है. अगर वो समझा दिया तो नया प्रॉब्लम ये आएगा कि इस 2 घंटे की क्लास में कितने सेट्स करा पाऊंगा. Like my motive is to do 4 sets or at least 3 sets if they are difficult. But I'll be able to do only 2 sets if I explain for 1 hour how these graphs were evolved. So I thought of let's create a self-paced program which we'll call as LRDI Essentials, and this self-paced program would enable the learners, the MBA aspirants to understand each and everything when they go to the live or application classes, because they will be having a fair idea about why this graph is being used. Is that clear, everyone? Thanks, Sparsh, for saying that. Is that clear? So that is the entire idea. And Shavik and Ramanuj, I would like to know, what's your take on that. So let us go to the detailed strategy and the entire details of this LRDI Essentials. There will be 35 plus videos, okay, in which we'll be covering like 15 hours. 15 hours is nothing, isn't it? So it's like, and then explaining the LRDI fundamentals. So what is going to happen? The next class will be of cubes, all right? Cubes is the first topic of logical reasoning. So I was like, okay, before they come to the cubes class, in this cubes, to imagine and visualize the cubes is a difficult task, a tedious task. How to cut the cubes, what happened when cubes are cut, all that stuff, cuts are made in single dimension, 2 dimension or 3 dimensions. So all those things needed to be explained. अक्षय कोई बात नहीं, इसीलिए तो हम ये कर रहे हैं. That is the reason why coming with this. So in 15 hours, let's say you spend just 1 hour every day. In 15 days, your essentials, your fundamentals for LR will be clear. But having said that, इससे भी एक नया प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा. हर सोल्यूशन पे एक नया प्रॉब्लम आता है. ये सोल्यूशन है तो बोले 15 घंटे हम तो पूरा खत्म कर देंगे, मजा आ जाएगा फिर तो. द प्रॉब्लम इज, लेट्स से यू फिनिश क्यूब्स, अरेंजमेंट्स, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड एवरीथिंग, and the classes which are happening, weekly, in those classes we'll be doing cubes for, let's say, 2 classes. Okay, तब तो तुम खत्म कर चुके हो, तुम फिर कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. इसीलिए वी आर प्लानिंग टू डू इट इन दिस वे दैट इट विल बी opened step by step, module by module, concept by concept. So I'm trying, and not I'm trying, this is what is going to happen, that we will sync these videos with the classes that we are taking. So it will be opening step after step. Is that clear? Oh, Ashutosh, is that so? Guys, thank Ashutosh saying 90 subscribers, more to go for 100K. Subscribe, guys. And those who are watching the recording, I think, now it becomes very clear, the kind of explanation, the evolution, natural selection. So step by step, we are evolving, step by step, we are eliminating the things which are not even required today. Okay. ठीक है, तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So 10 videos on arrangement, which we're discussing linear, circular, and more such patterns. When I say more patterns, it's like not just circular. It can be a pentagonal table, hexagonal table. All those things can happen, or rectangular table where length and breadth are different. Basic and complex questions. So complex question will not be done in this. No, that's not the agenda. For that we have LRDI inception. Here we have complex conditions. What are complex conditions? So whenever any kind of question creator, when he or she makes a question, makes an entire set, they think like, how can I make this difficult? How can I make this complicated? I'll give you a simple example. Let's say in circular arrangement, when we sit around a dining table, a circular dining table, we essentially face towards the center, right? Because that is how we keep the food plate on the table. We don't sit like this, okay, away from, but if there's a condition, people are sitting looking away from the center, then entire understanding of left and right goes haywire. If this is my left, this is my right, and if I turn like this, now my left is this, right is this. Seems logical, seems sensible, but when it is an entire question, inside a question, these things can confuse you. That is how things will be complicated. To complicate it even further, they will say, okay, there are 8 people, out of which some were facing away from table, some were facing towards center of table. Now things will complicate even further, right? Athar will be, it will be in the course, and cost, Ram, it's free of cost for all the people who are enrolled at iQuanta. It's free of cost, okay? For all, this is a gift for all the students actually. We are not selling it, all right? I think, okay. Kishore, these videos will be launched in the dashboard. We'll start opening it one by one from Monday onwards. Rolex धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा. Pramit, my t-shirt, it's a Korean startup company. It's a Korean company. It is, it's imported from Korea actually. This is a Korean hoodie. Thanks for asking that. Okay, now then 5 videos. The number is not fixed. It will be 10, 9 plus minus 1. 5 videos on distribution. Distribution is also a very famous puzzle in the arithmetic. Okay, so it happened like in during the World War times. Albert Einstein, he developed a distribution puzzle, and it was said that is the most difficult puzzle, and only 1% people can do it across the world. But now if you look at it, I think 10% people will be able to do that. Maybe IQ has developed, or maybe we education policies have developed. So distribution puzzle was there. It's very famous. It's like there are 5 people, belong to different country, lived in different buildings, like different colors. So based on 7 to 8 conditions, you had to arrange them. Okay, that is distribution. So distribution can be happening in 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, and 4 dimensions. Well, when I say nomenclature, it means the terminologies that are used, terms that will be using. Okay. Okay, Ramaj. Krutibash, nice name. Krutibash, yes. Everything will be from basic. Okay, Pranit. So, 5 videos on cubes. Visualization, cutting, counting and painting. So visualize a cube, it's a 3-dimension cube, okay? So all of us know how a cube looks like. All of you might be using a lot of ice cubes or would be using soon, summer is about to come, right? So cubes look like this. We have been using cubes everywhere, the Rubik's Cube, even the die, when die, DI, probably it's dice, when you play board games. So we have been using cubes throughout our lives. To visualize what is inside the cube can be tedious task for some people, the people who do not, who have not imagined much in their life. Because you know what, during studies, what happens, you are just focused on getting those marks, getting 95% or whatever in 10th and 12th. There is no subject which makes you learn visualization, isn't it? And that's the reason people bad in LRDI. That's the reason why they say LRDI is the most difficult section, right? Now, nomenclature is like using the terms which are important, data representation, 2D, 3D and 4D. When they say 2D, 3D, 4D, it's like when one individual or one type of data element can be classified in 2 different ways. It's 2-dimensional, 3 different ways, 4 different ways, 5 different ways, etc. Cubes, visualization, then cutting of cubes, counting and painting. It's like, when you cut the cubes, at equal intervals, you will get a lot of other cubes. And the problem is, if you paint the cube from outside, then you cut it, then there will be multiple types of cubes. Cubes having 3 painted sides, having 2 painted sides, having single painted side, or having no painted side. So to understand that, we need to visualize inside the cube. That is, when I say it's 3-dimensional object, that is a cube, your observation would be in the 4th dimension. You getting it? Okay? Ashutosh, yes, that's okay. That is a part of business. So when you think about what is going inside the cube, you're thinking in 4th dimension. Do you understand that? Anyone? If you have watched the movie Interstellar, it's given over there. So that is why it becomes very difficult. क्यूब के बाहर क्या हो रहा है दिखाई देता है, क्यूब के अंदर क्या हो रहा है ये समझने में थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्टी हो सकती है. तो इन बातों को मैंने कवर करने की यहाँ पे कोशिश की है. इनफैक्ट क्यूब्स का वीडियो मैंने ही बनाया है. Then coming to 6 videos on games and tournaments. So games tournaments of 2 types. You must be watching IPL, World Cup, tennis, Wimbledon, etc. So there are 2 kinds of tournaments. Round robin, when every team plays against every other team. Knockout, when whoever loses is knocked out. Now that team is not a part of the tournament anymore. That is knockout. Okay. Then combination of matches and basic practice sets. Basic sets, not complex ones, because the entire agenda, when I say essentials, it's actually fundamental, basic. Videos on Venn diagrams. Now why Venn diagrams were used? Why the hell someone called Mr. Venn, he came up with this. Why? So we'll get into that also, that detailed theory, that why Venn diagrams were necessary and how they are used in today's world. So nomenclature, the terminology that are used for areas, basic problems, complications, equation solving, and basic practice sets. By the way, you must have realized one thing, that in every module, every topic, there are 3 things for sure. One is nomenclature, and last is complications. And in between, there are a whole lot of things, explanations. So this is going to be there everywhere. Nomenclature, complication. This is very important. Nomenclature शुरू होगा तुम्हारा nomenclature से कि ये चीज़ें होती हैं, उसमें क्या कंडीशंस यूज़ होंगी, किस तरह की कंडीशंस लोग लिखते हैं लॉजिकल रीजनिंग पजल्स में, उन कंडीशन का मतलब क्या होता है. दैट इज द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द वीडियो. एंड थर्ड पार्ट इज कॉम्प्लिकेशंस, दैट हाउ क्वेश्चन राइटर्स कैन कॉम्प्लिकेट एनी कंडीशन. सो दीज 3 आर द मेन, आई वुड से मेन एसेट्स ऑफ एनी वीडियो. ओके, डिवाइड इनटू 5, 6 और 7 वीडियोस, बट ये 3 चीज़ें हमेशा रहेंगी. यू गेट दैट? ओके. 3 वीडियोज ऑन नेटवर्क्स एंड रूट्स. नेटवर्क्स एंड रूट्स एक आर्किटेक्चरल प्रॉब्लम है जिसको सॉल्व करने के लिए बहुत इंसानों ने पढ़ाई भी करी है, इजंट इट? नॉमेनक्लेचर, नाम रखना. अथर्व, नाम रखना. कृतिवश, ओके, रियली? कृतिवश, दिस इज For I think Kriti Bush from name, I think you are a girl maybe. This is a male hoodie. If I find some girl's hoodie, I would definitely send it the link to you. Now, so networks and routes. It's an architectural problem which people faced back in Indus Valley civilization and Greek culture. So during excavations of Mohenjo-daro and Lothal and Harappa sites, they saw an entire city, and that city had underground drainage. ड्रेनेज होगा ना कि जहाँ जहाँ पे जो भी घर बने वहाँ पे एक ड्रेन निकलना चाहिए, वो ड्रेन मिलना चाहिए एक क्लस्टर ऑफ होम से, फिर जाना चाहिए एक कॉलोनी के साथ, वहाँ मिलना चाहिए, ड्रेनेज सिस्टम. Okay, Kriti Bash. So all these drainage system, or maybe the way roads are made. Have you ever been to Chandigarh? Anyone from Chandigarh here? I am from Chandigarh. Chandigarh, when I was brought up in Chandigarh, so I thought, wow, things are so beautiful. The moment I stepped out of Chandigarh, went to other parts of India, I realized, no, things are really messed up. The architecture, sense architecture is not there. Chandigarh, what happens if you go there, you don't require Google Map. The roads there are rectilinear, in rectangular straight lines. They just go left, right, center, nothing else. It's very easy to navigate. So it was made by an architect called Le Corbusier, French architect. So he planned that city. It's called City Beautiful Chandigarh. So if anyone is from there, Rolex, don't worry, वो ठीक हो जाएगा, है ना? So networks and routes are majorly, they talk about this kind of planning. So you'll be given different, it can be a city planning, it can be plan of just a small area, a municipal corporation or a municipality. It can be planning of the traffic roads and lights, planning of drainage system, planning of canal, irrigation system. Irrigation में होता है, खेत तो सबने देखा ही होगा, है ना? See, the thing is, from whatever background you are, I am going to make you connect to these things. Problem is, जो हम पढ़ते हैं उसे हम रियल लाइफ में देखते नहीं, तो हमें दिक्कत होती है, हम समझ नहीं पाते क्यों हमें कहानियाँ अच्छी लगती हैं. कहानियाँ हम रियल लाइफ में देख पाते हैं. तो अगर सपोज तुम किसी गांव से हो, तुमने गांव देखे हुए हैं, वहाँ पे जो इरिगेशन सिस्टम होता है, एक ट्यूबवेल होता है, ट्यूबवेल से पानी निकलता है, उस पानी एक मोटी धार होती है, टुकड़े किए जाते हैं, उसको चने के खेत में इतना पानी जाएगा, सरसों में इतना जाएगा, गेहूं में इतना जाएगा, चावल में ज़्यादा जाएगा, isn't it? कि चावल ज़्यादा पानी चाहिए होता है. So agriculture, everywhere there are networks and routes. Do you understand that? Yes, simplified. Yeah, AJ Gaming, isn't it? दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में ऐसा होता है, everywhere. And now you will think that there are some networks and routes which are not there in forests, mountains, unmanned places. You know what? Even nature creates networks and routes. We'll come to that. That's the interesting part of nature. See, God exists. I'm sure about that. And you know what? I'll just tell a statement. If God exists, it would be a mathematician. I won't use he or she. I don't know. Let's not genderize God. God must be a mathematician because he knows how to, trees grow in a certain way. They follow a network. They follow the network of branches. Rivers flow in a certain way. Deltas are created. सुंदरबन डेल्टा सुना होगा, वहाँ से बहुत लोग बंगाल से होंगे. बांग्लादेश में सुंदरबन डेल्टा है. All those places, the peninsula, these are all networks and routes created by the nature or God itself. So nomenclature and understanding the flow and complications is what we're going to do with some basic concept builder sets. Okay, I've been able to relate to it. Do you understand the examples? So I'm giving examples from every walk of life. Everyone has seen these things, just that they don't know that they have seen this. 3 words in binary logic: nomenclature, basic understanding, complications, and basic practice sets. I posted something on Facebook today. A lot of people, you know what, if Shovik and Ramanuj, you are there, CAT 2025 के जो aspirants हैं, बहुत कम interaction करते हैं. तुम लोग करते तो मज़ा आता था. आज मैंने बताया कि LRDI Essentials एक टेरेंटिनो की मूवी जैसा है. ओके, टेरेंटिनो मूवी जहाँ बाइनरी लॉजिक, एक आदमी सच बोल रहा है, एक झूठ बोल रहा है, एक पता नहीं क्या बोल रहा है, जो मन वो बोल दे रहा है. These are the real people we have seen across ourselves, isn't it? So that is binary logic. हम relate कर सकते हैं ऐसे लोगों से. Okay, coming to 3 videos on selection. Nomenclature, basic understanding, combination, basic practices. This is common to everything. 5 videos on other important puzzles. Blood relation, that's not going to come in CAT. No. But at the very same time, this is not just CAT but other management entrance tests as well. SNAP, NMAT, ZAT, etc. So all of it which is going to be a part of logical reasoning or data interpretation, we have covered that. Blood relations, symbology, alphanumeric, etc. Nomenclature, basic understanding, complications and basic practice sets will be there. By the way, the people who want to join the entire course, this is free of cost to all people who are the students of the entire course. You can use this code PEACE4500, which will enable you to get a discount of 4500 across all the courses that we offer. Newbiepreneur, don't worry. Now my entire agenda, my entire focus is on CAT 2025 aspirants. Pritesh, yes. And I'll be taking care of each and everything, don't worry. सब इसी कारण से सब बना रहे हैं. I'm developing things. You know, if you look at my face today, I have slept for only 3 hours. I was developing these modules. And you know, I'm not saying this just to create impact or to flex or to listen to, you know, thanks sir. No, I'm just telling you that because I'm equally aware of what you are going through. And what you're going through is my responsibility. आपकी तो है ही है, obviously. But I take it as a responsibility. So whatever feelings that you have, whatever queries that you have, whatever difficulties you're understanding, I know 90% of it already because I have been there, done that. जो बच जाएगा मैं खुद तुमसे बात करने आऊँगा, जैसे कि आज आया हूँ. ठीक है? गिल्ट होता है, क्लास मिस होती है, तो ये तो बात सही है. इसका कुछ प्लान करना पड़ेगा. You watch the recording also. Okay? Now, this is the entire plan. And having said that, having told you all of it, I think I may take much time. This is all about today's session. And if you've seen in the last 1 week, I have come live for 4 times to talk. And why I'm talking, you know why? Because I want to gain the feedback. And feedback is something which is required to evolve, you know, and to select things naturally. तो होता है कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि ये मुझे तुमसे ज़्यादा आता है, तुम्हारी बात क्यों सुनूं? I'm not that person. Learning is a continuous way of living, okay? Everybody is a learner, everybody is a teacher. Right now, professionally, looks like I'm a teacher, but you know what? I am also a learner. A learner, probably, I think I'm a better learner than you guys are. So you know what I'm teaching you these days? I'm obviously, apart from teaching the VARC skills, teaching the quantitative aptitude techniques or LRDI essentials, I'm teaching you that the best form of individual, be it a manager, be it an entrepreneur, be it a friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, son, daughter, whatever, even enemies, the best persons are those who are always learning. In the end, we all are just learners and everybody has a story of learning. So we are here to share the stories, to share the feedback, and that will be very much important. And I would say it's inevitable. So we need to kind of imbibe those feedback across everything, any kind of learning, because learning is the main goal of every human who has ever walked on this planet, like all of us are doing. So on that note, I'd like to end the session, and I'll see you again very soon because I'll be very frequent now. You know, that is how we will evolve together. Okay, Mukesh, point noted. Krutibash, the same group is okay. And any kind of anything related to the doubt support, the support teams will be automatically adding you in the required groups. So what you learned today? When the session is over, I want everybody to write over there that learning is a continuous way of living. Just write over there, and that is all. I'll see you soon again with another such enlightening session without wasting much time. All right. And those who are watching the recording, I would like you guys to subscribe to this channel because we are soon to touch 100,000 mark, and that is really awesome. You guys are fabulous. Good night.